Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon if you want to help support us, or you should join our Discord server if you want to come talk about RWBY for the next 6 months until it comes back.
You sound real excited about that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so we're talking about why Yang took the Relic today.
I'm gonna see how far I can get with Jean with no powers up in Eclipse mode on like the second last.
Okay. Good luck with that. So yeah, I want to talk about why Yang took the Relic today, and I think that the reason is pretty obvious, to be honest. But let's
so obvious we
let's cover it anyway.
Yeah,
I guess. But it seems like to me at least that Yang is sort of making a sacrifice. Here is that like because you see when she takes the Relic, she just breaks down into sobs, because I think that Yang understands by accepting the Relic, by taking the Relic, that she is accepting that,
it's probably not going to go well for her.
Yeah, exactly. So like the Maidens, they're pretty much gonna be, there's never gonna be a time until Salem is defeated where their team will be able to, I suppose, be together and just be, you know what I mean? Like, they're always gonna have to be fighting and running.
Being murdered.
Yeah, exactly, and there's always gonna be danger, sort of, all the time, and so, by Yang taking the Relic, she sort of recognizes that they do not get they're not gonna get a break, so to speak. Like, they don't get, I don't want to say they don't get a second chance, but they don't get to stop fighting. They're gonna have to keep going and keep having to fight these battles literally all the time now, whereas Beacon, it was like maybe once every couple weeks something exciting happened, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, outside fights. Yeah, it's a monthly fight, you know, like, Roman was a monthly event, like, stuff like that, you know what I mean? And so, it's sort of, what reminds me of, what it reminds me of is that, I think it's in this, and this will be the day? I don't know which song it is, let me think a second, but it says, were we born to fight and die? Sacrifice for one huge lie. Are we heroes keeping peace? Or are we weapons pointed at an enemy so someone else can claim the victory? Or something. Like, that's the line for
I love
for
with such gusto and excitement you recite those lyrics. With enemy or victory.
I'm pretty sure it's time to say goodbye that they say that. And so I think that this rings true again. It's that are we gonna have to keep fighting all the time? And the answer is yes, and I think that's kind of why Yang decided to take it. Not because she wants to fight all the time, but because, well, first she's sort of giving Raven an out, like she's giving Raven another option, so Raven doesn't have to go through it again. But I think that there's two reasons why she does that are sort of outside of doing it because they need the Relic for Ozpin. I think one of them is, like, there's reasons more obvious, I should say, than just taking it so Raven doesn't have it. And I think one of them is that she's giving Raven sort of an out, if you want to call it that. That she's saying, listen, you don't have to do this, like, we'll do it, and Raven doesn't really fight against that. Like, Raven wants there to be another choice.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. She's kind of cowardice. So
Yang is sort of giving Yang is sort of giving Raven an out. That Yang is saying, hey, like, Salem's not gonna come for you if you know, we have the Relic, because all that she needed the Spring Maiden for was to open the fucking door. Like, she's not gonna care. You know what I mean? And so here's your out of this. So Yang is giving her mom an out, and I think it kind of brings back to Raven saving Yang that one time, that this is returning the favor, that Yang is now saving Raven in a sense, and it's all about sort of being even. I think the other reason really is because, like, if Raven takes it, they're just gonna have to go get it from her again, and I don't think that Yang wants that fight, because Raven starts a conversation with, I told you next time we'd see each other, it may not, like, go as you wanted it to, or whatever she says, right? Something to that effect, right? And so that's kind of Yang saying, like, next time we meet, it doesn't need to be on the basis of us fighting for the Relic, you know, if we ever meet again, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be because, we need to go get the Relic from you because you took it. I'll have the Relic, and then you can just kind of do whatever you want, right? And so I feel like that is sort of what Yang is looking at. But I think that it's obvious that it's a sacrifice, but you don't have to go that far to wonder why she did it. She really doesn't have many other choices, because she either lets Raven take it, and then they have to go just track down Raven and hunt her down for the relic again, which causes more bloodshed, or she could convince Raven to give it to her, and at least even if they'll be hunted by Salem, it was gonna happen either way. And so this is an easier... It's Yang accepting that they're always gonna have to fight this until Salem is defeated. And so instead of taking the long way and just getting it back from Raven, it's sort of a, I don't want to say this is the short way, but this is the easy route to just take it from the get-go, because I don't think that she wants to fight Raven again either. I think that, to an extent, she just wants Raven to, not to get out of her life, I don't want to phrase it like that, but I think that she just wants Raven
leave me alone,
to leave
Mom.
them, yeah, kinda, like, I think that she just wants Raven to leave them alone, and the easiest way to get her to leave them alone is to give her, you know, an out of all of this drama, basically, you know what I mean? And so, I feel like this is also Yang being like, listen, like, not that I don't want you around, but I don't exactly want to fight you all the time, and so, like, you're gonna have to put yourself in a position where we're not fighting.
Care about what her mother will do.
Yeah.
She seems like she just wants the relic, and that's a perfect out for Raven. Being
yeah,
like, okay,
exactly.
well,
That's what I'm saying. And so,
because Yang put up a really good argument for why Raven wouldn't, like, to the point where you argue, like, why hadn't Raven, like, just come to that conclusion herself?
I mean, I think the reason why is just because, I don't know, like, I feel like that even if the relic was dangerous, Raven had the idea that it would be able to protect her better from Salem, right? And so if Salem was gonna go after her anyway, she may as well have the relic with her. But now, Yang, I don't think that she thought of, not to say that she didn't think of this, but I think that when Yang puts it in the way that she does, it's more convincing that Salem won't really have time to go after Raven for nothing when the thing they needed Raven for in the first place, what am I trying to say? It doesn't connect anymore. Like, Raven doesn't need this, or Salem doesn't need the Spring Maiden anymore, and so Raven gets to go free. I don't think that Raven realizes that, because Raven's kind of out of the loop in terms of Salem's plans nowadays. But, you know, Yang is able to kind of understand, based on, like, contextual clues and what Ozpin said, that I don't think that Raven, Salem, rather, really ever cared about, Cinder getting all the Spring Maiden power, or all of the Maiden powers, but specifically the Spring Maiden powers. Like, that's just Salem's way to manipulate Cinder into getting all of the relics, because it's like, I will give you this awesome power, but you need to do something for me. Like, that's basically what's going on, right? And so I don't think it ever came to Raven's mind, necessarily, that maybe Salem just doesn't care about the Maidens at all after the relic gets loose. And so I don't think that she considered that being a distraction. And I don't think that Raven considered that it was a battle between sort of the, Cinder, and then Ozpin, and then her. Like, I think in Raven's head, it was her versus Cinder, and then she'd rather take it than let it fall into the hands of the bad guys. It's the same thing that she did for the Spring Maiden to some extent, right? Is that Raven took the burden of the Spring Maiden powers, so the Spring Maiden powers wouldn't fall into the wrong hands. It was a weird sort of little sacrifice, and I feel like that's the same thing she's doing here, because in her mind she says, okay, well, listen, Ozpin will never win against the bad guys. If I'm the only one that can win, then I need to take the relic. You understand what I'm saying? Do you think that's fair? Because a lot of people are like, why didn't Raven? I think that's why. Like, I think that that's the reason why Raven wanted to take it, because it was another case, like the Spring Maiden case, where it was like, it's either going to fall into the hands of the bad guys, or it's going to fall into my hands, because she doesn't have confidence in Ozpin.
Yeah, she seems overly confident in her own abilities.
But, okay, but consider now, if Raven wasn't, let's say that Raven wasn't there, but Cinder could open the vault still. Yeah. Do you think Cinder would have won, or do you think the good guys would have won against Cinder?
I mean,
and so
I think
I'm saying
Cinder
if
only won because Renal was there. Or because, rather, Raven only won because Renal was there.
Last minute?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that she could have still pulled through. But do you understand what I mean? Like, could the good guys take Cinder and the relic if Cinder had gotten the relic? Like, could they have defeated or rescued the school with Raven or with Cinder having both of those things? What do you think? Because I'm gonna vote a hard no on that. I don't think that they could beat
Well, because we don't even
Cinder.
really know what it does yet. The relic.
I mean, I guess, but I still don't think they could have.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would have been able to beat her. And so in Raven's mind, they're like, okay, Ozpin's team is incompetent. I'm the only one that's strong. Like that's kind of what she has in her head. And I think that makes sense. Like, no offense to like the good team or the good guys, but like, I don't know if y'all would would be able to take Cinder, the Relic, Hazel, and then, you know, everything else that was going on, right? So
although
they kind of needed
they were in
Raven.
a bit of a pickle near the end there.
Yeah, I mean,
like with the fuzz outside and all the white fang gave
the
up.
fuzz. Yeah, but yeah. So if you guys like needed a reason for Raven and kind of think what she does, because a lot of people are saying, well, that's just like plot convenience, so Raven can want the relic. Like she doesn't have a good reason. The writers just want her to. But I think that what I already said was a pretty.
No, it's a good like.
It's a good argument. Because she
did
did the same thing with the Spring
power.
Maiden. Yeah, and she did the same thing with the Spring Maiden, right? And so it's not that hard to understand why she'd just do the same thing that she did before, but with the relic. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about Yang, for a while, like, why Yang took the relic, but you also now get the sense of why Raven, also wanted the relic. But I feel like Yang is basically following in her mom's footsteps. It's another one of those, I don't want to do this, but I think that we're the only ones who can. So it's another one of those sacrifices. And we did a Stark Generations theory a while ago, and I still stand by what I said in that theory, that Yang isn't going to be the Raven of the group, and she's going to stay more Tai, but this was definitely a Raven moment for Yang, I think. Like, it was very similar to her mother. And so, yeah. That's all I wanted to say. I hope that you guys are satisfied with that.
I can't wait for, like...
For what?
Just, goddamn, imagine being, like, Yang's therapist.
Oh, boy. I mean, that's Blake next season.
Yeah,
like, for Yang's just lying on a bed, and then Blake's just sitting in a chair, and Yang's explaining everything that happened to
I like to imagine it's, like, Weiss being the couple's therapist, or, like, Winter being the couple therapist.
I mean, Winter's kinda...
I mean,
gone. But we're gonna talk about that, like, in a couple weeks, probably. Since we still need videos to do during the hiatus. That's probably when we're gonna cover the, is when we'll see Winter again and all that stuff. But, yeah, let's focus on, like, this week, get this week out of the way, and then we're only doing 3 videos a week around for RWBY.
Nice.
So.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Still probably as much as me in this basement, but I digress.
Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, remember that you guys should click the little thingy so you guys can be patrons over on Patreon. The thingy, the end cards. Or you guys should join our Discord server. And we will see you later. Bye, guys.